Hey guys, it's Hope and welcome back to my channel. Whether we like it or not, school is about to start. For some of y'all, it may have already started. While I really don't want to go back to school and wish summer would just last forever, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to make the most out of this school year and be super productive and organized. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you how you can too. Before we get started, here are today's shoutouts. Stay until the end of the video to find out how you can get a shoutout. Anyways, let's just get into it. I have 10 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you guys for how to stay productive and organized this school year. And then I'm also going to be answering some questions that you guys had. I'm just going to be sharing some different advice that I have for y'all. First, get your priorities straight. You can't do everything, and while I wish it was possible, it's not. It's important to know what you are going to be focusing on and then what you're going to do with your extra time. For me, school is always going to come first. So if studying for a test or getting a project done means I can't post a video or I'm not able to go to dance that night, then I just will have to deal with it because school will always come first. With the rest of my time remaining, I'm going to be balancing it between YouTube and sports and hanging out with friends and family and then just taking time to myself. So that might mean I spend an hour each day just working on sports, an hour and a half each day working on YouTube, an hour each day spending time with family or something like that. Whatever it ends up being, then I'm going to work with it like that and try to not spend too much time on one thing because I do want to be able to spend time with family, friends while still doing YouTube and sports. Next, don't take on more than you can handle. I'm not the greatest at this, but I am working on it. Like I said earlier, you can't do everything, so it's important to pick out what you have to do, what you want to do, and then what else there is that you just can't do. I think if you have your priorities set up, then you can figure out what else you want to do. If you're not sure how to decide what activities you do and don't do, then one thing you can do is something my parents had me do a while ago, which is where they had me write down a list of everything that I wanted to try and do, or maybe even things that I just wanted to work on or accomplish. And then I would list them out in an order of how important they were to me. So some things they put on it were dance, YouTube, cross country, track, and at the time, I'm sure there were lots of other things I put on there. So we looked at what was on there and figured out what would work into my schedule. And if I had to decide between some things, I'd look at how high they were on my list, and whichever was higher was what I would do. And I think that is a great way to decide what activities you're going to be doing in a school year. My next tip is to find an organizational system that works for you. Everybody is different and everybody needs to organize their life differently to get the most out of an organizational system. Some people might like to keep everything on paper and journal things out, use planners, maybe a bullet journal. Some people might like to do everything on their phone and use an app like Notion. Some people might like to just jot a few things down on Notes or the Reminders app. And all those things are great, but they don't all work for everyone. So I think it's important to figure out what works best for you. I'm going to go through my organizational systems so you guys can get a few ideas, but you should definitely look into all of your options and figure out what is going to be the best one for you. So firstly, I have all of my journals. First, I have my bullet journal, which I use kind of as my main planner. If you want to see more of what I put into my bullet journals, I do have some bullet journal with me videos on my channel that you can check out, but I'll give you a quick overview of this month. So first I just have kind of the cover, and then I have a little monthly overview, and then here I track some habits. Here I have an activity log and gratitude log, and then here's the main kind of planner section. So I'll write down my events I have for the day, and then also some things I want to get done that day. I also have another planner. This one is just a normal planner, but I'm not going to be using it like a normal planner because that's what my bullet journal is for. I'm going to be using this one as my school planner. So in it, it has little sections where I can write down my subjects, and then over here I'll be writing down what I have due that day, what I want to get done in class that day, what we're working on in class that day, so I can use this to kind of stay organized for school. And then finally I have my YouTube journal, which I use to track subscriber growth, write down some video ideas, which I'm not going to be showing to you guys, and then I also have a little video calendar where I plan out when I'm posting my stuff. I also use it to plan out some of my videos. So those are all of my journals. I also then on my phone use a few apps. I use the Reminders app to write down my to-do list every day. It allows me to easily check everything off, and then I can see what I've accomplished and what I still have to do. I also have it set up as a widget so I can always have it right there kind of as a reminder. I also use the Apple Calendar app to just schedule out my day and just time block and plan out when I want to get different things done. Finally, I also use the app Cozy. I personally don't use it that much, but my mom has all of our activities and events on there, and then it's color coded so I can see when I have an event, when my sister has it, when our whole family has something, which is really nice. I don't add anything to it, but my mom always has all of our events and activities on there, so if I ever need to check something, I can check it there. So those are a few organization systems that you can look into. But like I said, there are still tons of others. And I think if you can figure out an organization system that works for you, either before school starts or right as school starts, then it'll be a lot easier to stay organized throughout the school year. My next tip is to come up with a routine and schedule. It's a lot easier to get things done and go through your day if you know exactly what you're going to next. So for example, in the morning, you might say, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 6, and then from 6 to 6:30, I'll get dressed, do my skincare, make my bed, get all ready, and then from 6:30 to 7, I will have breakfast. Then from 7 to 7:30, I might do some extra studying or some extra cleaning in my room. 7:30 to 7:45, I'll do some last minute stuff, and then at 7:45, I'll leave for school or something like that. And I think just coming up with a schedule with times you're gonna do things and just a routine that you can follow every day can make it a lot easier to go through your day and get stuff done. Every week, it's important to have a time to just reset, just clear out your mind from the previous week and get all prepared for the upcoming week. So I think it's nice to have a little reset self-care day every Sunday. I do have a reset day in my life on my channel. It's a few months old, but you guys can check that out if you want to. You don't really want to be going into a week unprepared and not really ready for it. Your mind's still kind of cluttered from the previous week, so it's really important to just take a reset day where you relax, maybe have some self-care, finish up anything that you needed to finish from the previous week, and then get all planned out for the next week. Okay, this is something that I wasn't doing as much at the beginning of the school year last year, but near the end I was a lot better about, which was checking my grades and assignments often. This is something that I used to only do like maybe once every 2 weeks, once every month, but then I later started doing it more often. My school had an app that they used that allowed me to just see what my grades were, any assignments I had coming up, which was really great to help me stay organized and help me stay on top of all of my grades. And if you have any way to keep checking your grades and then maybe even looking ahead at what assignments you'll have or when you have assignments due, it's really great to stay on top of that so you don't fall behind or your grades maybe don't get out of hand or you don't forget about an upcoming assignment or anything. To get stuff done, I figured out the best thing to do is to be intentional with what you want to get done. At the beginning of the day, plan out what you want to get done, plan out when you're going to do it, and then just get going on it. I found that if I just kind of make a to-do list and I'm like, okay, it'd be nice if I get this done, but if I don't, it's okay. I don't really know when I'm going to work on it. I don't really know if I'm going to even get it done at all. Then I'm not going to get it done. But if I make a to-do list, write out a time in my day when I'm going to work on it and then just do it, then I'm going to get it done and I'm going to complete my to-do list for the day and I'm going to feel great and I just am able to get everything done. So be intentional with what you want to get done and it'll be so much easier to just do it. Similar to how you have to find a good organization system that works for you, you have to find a study method that works best for you. Everyone has different preferences and different ways that their mind takes in information, so you can't just study the exact same way as someone else. I do have a video on my channel where I talked about some study tips and some different study methods that you could try out, so if you want to check out the video, you can. For me, personally, my favorite way to study is using Quizlet, although I also like to make colorful study guides, but everyone takes in information and learns things differently, so I think finding a good study system for you is really great. Like I said, there's Quizlet and you can write colorful study guides. Some people like to draw things and use highlighters and colored pens and stuff, and that's how their mind takes information. I know a lot of people like flashcards. One of my friends likes to make practice quizzes that then she will use to study, and there are still tons of other ways that I didn't even say. So finding a good study method for you will help you so much to do well on all of your tests and exams and quizzes and just be really prepared for that. Okay, you've probably heard this a million times, but don't procrastinate. When you get an assignment, don't wait until the last minute to get started on it. Just get started on it right away and you'll be able to get through it and you won't have to worry about it. I always feel so great when I know that I'm on top of everything and I don't have anything that I'm going to have to worry about later, and just able to relax and not have to worry about any of that. So when you get an assignment, don't just wait until the end to work on it. I know that you might want to do it later, but your future self wants you to do it now, so just do it and do your future self a favor. Along with not procrastinating, space out your work. If you have 2 weeks to get an assignment done, don't wait until the last minute, but you also don't have to cram it in the first 2 days that you get it. Let's say you have a week to do a paper. The first day, you can do all of your research. The second day, write your outline. The third day, make a rough draft. The fourth day, have some friends and family members edit it and revise it and just look over it for you, and then the 5th day you can write your final draft, and then you still have 2 days left. So spacing out your work can make it so much easier to get through some big assignments. Okay, finally, I'm going to answer some questions that you guys had. Okay, so this first question is, how do you finish your schoolwork when you don't feel like working on it? My tip for that would be to just take it step by step. There have been lots of times this summer when I've really not wanted to annotate, but I know I have to, because if I don't, I won't have it done in time for when school starts. So what I do is I just make myself focus on one page, and then the next page, and then the next page, and not look too far ahead at how much I have to do, and just take it step by step. I also try and split it up kind of throughout the day. So I think to myself, okay, I just have to annotate 10 pages and then I can take a break and I can do the other parts later. So I think taking it step by step and taking breaks instead of trying to do it all at once can help you to do work when you don't really feel like it. How do you balance YouTube and school? So like I said, if I ever have to decide between the two, I'm going to do school first and then YouTube if I have extra time. So what I'll do is, obviously I go to school for like 8 hours a day, so that time is always dedicated to school, and then afterwards I just focus on homework and try and get it done as quickly as possible, and then I'll maybe take a little bit of a break and then I'll go and work on YouTube. So I try and keep them separate but still work on both of them. Now, if I find myself falling really behind on YouTube, then on the weekends is a great time for me to then get ahead. So I'll try to finish all of my homework from Friday evening, and then if I have to, some on Saturday morning, and then I'll just spend the rest of the weekend getting more ahead on YouTube. So I think a great way to balance it is to have kind of the weekdays more for school and then the weekends more for YouTube, and that's what's worked for me before. What do you do when you have missing work, and what do you do to avoid getting missing work? Okay, so when you have missing work, just get on it. Make that your top priority, because you don't want it to get later and later and later, but also at the same time, you don't want to get any other missing work. So I think just focus on that and get that done. To avoid having missing or late work in the first place, I would definitely keep track of when assignments are due. So the things that are due sooner, you can work on those first and make sure that you will have them done by the time they're due. What are some tips for making new friends? Okay, so obviously be yourself. You don't want to like act like someone else, because you want your friends to know your real self. You don't want to be like a fake person in front of your friends and always be that fake person, or you don't want to then start to change into your real self and then they're confused because they thought you acted different. So definitely just be your real self, and the people that will like you will like you. Also, don't be afraid to like go out there and introduce yourself to people and hang out with people, because you can't really make friends if you don't go out there. Obviously, some people will come to you, but you can't count on everybody just coming to you. You have to go out there and try to make friends yourself. So I think be your real self, and I think go out there, and the people that are meant to be your friends will be your friends. How do you balance running and working out with school? So for me, I do cross country with my school. So after school every day, I'm just gonna have cross country practice. My last hour and then cross country practice just kind of blend into each other. So I don't really have to worry about running or anything. Although if you don't have sports or anything as an option with your school, then what I did last year after track season was over, so when it was just school, then I would wake up early to go for a run, or after school, I would work out if I had time. So I think waking up early to work out or go on a run or something is great, but also if you have to wake up really early for school, then maybe try doing that after school. Obviously, make sure you're able to still fit in homework and stuff. If you're not able to fit in homework, then you might just have to work out in the morning or something, or maybe just even skip a workout. But that's what I did last year when I didn't have sports at school. Okay, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this helped you out and you got some good advice for staying organized and productive. I tried to come up with my best tips and just what I personally do, and I hope that it will help you guys out. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like it, then subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. For a chance to get a shout out, share this video with one or more of your friends and let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!